Hello? Yes? This thing died on me. I planned to collect materials for an Alistair design. However, and it stopped working the weekend that I was going to back everything up. However, there's a lot of howevers in this video. Because I feel like I'm like this. Okie pokey weirdos, I'm Rev and welcome to my world of cosplay shenaniganery. Within the last 2 weeks of September, I feel like my life attempted to implode on me. So while not going over all of the super personal stuff that's been going on, I will go over a number of the things that involve this channel, my audience, my Patreon, Ko-fi, everything costume related. Therefore, let's get to what the original plan was, what is causing me to have to change that plan, and what the plans changed look like thus far, however they might have to change again. Part 1, the original plan. My top 3 costumes that I was working on originally were Edward Scissorhands, my feminine version of that character, Pidge's Voltron armor, I know I've seen comments with y'all being super excited about that one, and Jareth in his blue coat from As the World Falls Down. I normally plan to have one costume that I build each month, and then the costume I've made the previous month gets posted onto all the socials. I'd plan to work on Scissorhands in September and post Scissorhands in October. Then I would work on Pidge in October and post Pidge's content in November. I would work on Jareth in November and then post his stuff in December. From December through February, I had a big couple of projects planned. I still haven't finished my Lucy Lacemaker fursuit body, and I want to work on that during cooler months because it's such a warm costume. But I also run out of steam very quickly with a number of fursuits. So I was also looking at updating my Fizzarelli cosplay while working on Lucy Lacemaker. Also during those 3 months, I planned to collect materials for an Alistair design. It's a design where I change the color scheme of Alistair just a little bit, and I use a whole bunch of hand beading to embellish his costume more. I normally schedule my costumes months in advance. This is because I normally collect pieces and parts over a number of months. This helps me save on money because I'm getting most things from thrift stores or secondhand online. However, there are 2 very frustrating things that have come up in my life that have caused me to have to shift everything down at least a month, if not more. Firstly, I have developed a cyst in my dominant left hand because of overuse. I work all day behind a register and then I come home and I make costumes. Therefore, this hand, both of my hands actually, get a lot of use. And this one got very angry about that. I went 4 days without using this hand a whole lot and noticed that the swelling came down. And the doctor also suggested that I simply do not use this hand as much for a while and stop sewing so that the inflammation can come down and I can heal and get back to costumes bigger and better than ever. Please, yes, please, and thank you. Number 2, the thing that I find even more so frustrating because this can heal. Wait a second. This thing died on me. This is the drive that holds the largest majority of all of my current footage. I back most things up once a month onto a 10 terabyte drive. This little thing I use to plug into my computer so that it runs easier on my computer at 2 terabytes. However, it is just shy of 5 years old, and apparently these drives die somewhere between 4 to 5 years. I have about a month and a half worth of footage on this thing that I cannot get to because it is fried, and it stopped working the weekend that I was going to back everything up. I went to Best Buy and tried to get it serviced. However, because of how busted this thing is, it is going to cost somewhere between $300 to $1,600 to recover all the footage. And if you know any other companies that do servicing for electronics that might not cost me a complete arm and leg, please let me know down in the comments, because I'm gonna start looking around for places other than Best Buy, since that's kind of ridiculous that I have to pay for an apartment to be able to save a few months worth of footage. I know a lot of people would ask if it is worth that amount of money to save whatever footage is on here. For me personally, the answer is yes, because so much of my content is very difficult to recreate. To spend the money to save this means that I am saving about 3 months worth of work so that I do not have to attempt creating my Edward Scissorhands costume, my Pidge mock-up, and there's a whole bunch of other things on there that are small things that didn't get backed up because I thought they did, and then it turned out they didn't when I went back through all of my footage that was backed up. So here are some things that I currently cannot get to. I already mentioned Scissorhands and Pidge. The largest majority of the Scissorhands footage is stuck on this dead drive. Other footage that I've lost is about half of what I worked on for my Deadpool and Wolverine short form content.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick-tick, so upsy daisy.
I recorded my variation of the Muses from Hercules.
Proclaimers of heroes. Heroes like Hercules.
Honey, you mean Hercules.
And I got a couple little bitty videos out, but I was going to make a whole long series with them because I also want to cosplay Megra, which I hadn't gotten to yet before the drive died. I also sculpted antlers for Lewis from Beastars. I had hoped to cosplay him during the warmer months, which meant early October while it was still sunny but cool enough that I'd be comfortable running around outside in a whole bunch of deer makeup. Finally, the last big chunk of footage that I lost was a whole bunch of stuff related to my angel dust projects. If you're watching this video, I have a feeling you've seen a number of my angel dust shorts where I was doing closet cosplays, and I enjoyed doing that because I wanted to take some time to be angel dust without having to put a whole bunch of work into it. Because like how I'm redesigning Alistair, I also want to do a redesign of angel dust, but I'm still fiddling with the ideas. As well as, for angel dust, I have been learning pole. I have been going to pole dance classes so that I can wear his cosplay and do the dances and come up with some of my own choreography for some of his songs. Learning pole was something I've always wanted to do ever since I saw Esmeralda on Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I was like, yes, I want to do that. It's so much more about knowing that I have the strength to do these kind of moves, keeping myself up on the pole, flipping myself upside down, and all of these other beautiful shapes that I really enjoy doing. However, I've gotten a couple of injuries that have brought back my progress a little bit for pole, as well as with so much of my first year of pole footage missing at the moment because it's on that drive, I'm gonna wait a little bit until I can get that footage back so that I can make a full video on my experience learning how to do pole and how I get to doing pole cosplaying as Angel Dust as well as other characters once I get to that point. There are also the costumes I like to call honorable mentions because they're little projects that I set up for myself if I ever lose interest in the really big project I'm working on at the time, so I can do something quick, little, make a video in case I'm behind on a video. Honorable mentions. I want to update my Harley Quinn Birds of Prey jacket. That was going to be in October, however, my hands cannot handle dealing with all those tassels right now. I have almost everything to make short form content for Charlie from Has Been Hotel. I might still be able to get to do that depending on how much pain my hand is in. And then I want to cosplay Husker from Has-Been as well, but I still need to make quite a few pieces, make his ears, adjust the wig, put details on his wings, that kind of stuff. So until my hand is better, I can't get to those. With needing a budget to get my drive fixed, to get all of my footage back, I have upped the hours that I work at my cashier job so that I can get that income more quickly. I would be ever so grateful if any of you are willing to help pitch in for this project to get this thing fixed and get all of my footage back. So you can check out Ko-fi and Patreon. Of course, you can leave a simple little tip on Ko-fi. I would be so thankful if we could get this drive fixed sooner rather than later. This also includes me getting a SSD so that I have a more beefy drive that can handle the amount of content that I put on it. Because when I'm crafting, I'm filming hours of content. And these little disk drives really cannot handle that kind of stuff. So if you're able to, please do check out Ko-fi and Patreon. It would help so much. Also, with increasing my hours at my register job, I will have to post less often. I had gotten really good at posting about once a week. However, there's a lot of howevers in this video. I'll need to post probably something more like bi-weekly. And because I can't make costumes right now with my poor little hands, they're so ouchy. I will likely be doing more storytime videos, talking head videos, and some video essays, because I do have a couple video essays already planned. I have a Harley Quinn one coming up, talking about the history of her costumes and how that defines her character. And to leave you off, I'll give you a little list of other projects that I have got some pieces for, or a lot of pieces for, and I still haven't gotten to them because I feel like there are not enough hours in the day for how many things I want to make, because my brain goes creative crazy and I want to make all the things, and life sometimes gets in the way. Unfinished or partially planned projects. Grogu, Saris from Galaxy Quest, Hellgirl, Drizzt from Forgotten Realms. I want to do a Femme Death the Kid photo shoot. I have almost everything for that, so I gotta see when I would have time for that one. Any and all projects I have listed in this video may or may not happen. So please let me know in the comments if you are excited to see any of these costumes, but please do not demand that I get any of this done immediately. I have other personal things going on in my life that have also made this past month pretty difficult, or even within the past 2 years. And I need some time for my brain to refocus, and I need to decompress because I feel like I'm like this. So I need to breathe. I'll take a month off. I'll start everything up again in November. However, I do want to start up with my Lucy and Fizz projects to make sure that those get moved along a little further. And then Pidge, Edward Scissorhands, and Jareth will all get bumped down from about February on. Please remember those subs, comms, thumbs, and a ding. I would be ever so grateful if you could help me with bringing together a budget for getting this drive fixed and getting the footage back so I can show you all the things I have been making for the past few months. I also want to give a big shout out and thank you to T-Rev Vlogs and Nicole, because they have been so supportive in my YouTube journey thus far. I greatly appreciate both of you and your beautiful comments, so thank you, thank you, thank you. And welcome to the madness. I'm gonna flip this way so I'm not looking at the viewfinder and I look at the camera. It is a design that I'm super excited about, and I'm not sure where I'm standing to be in frame. Hang on. I need to stand. About there. Cool. Flip. Don't look at the viewfinder, and I pay attention to the tiles on the floor so I know where I'm standing. The guess is that I have a